Okay YouTube viewers, here is the skinny on this puppy. I extracted this from the internet and stumbled across it while searching for the 7 archons and had misspelled it archons. So I inquired and dug around a bit and was led to some sort of YouTube channel mystery titled Knock 10 with additional links to astrological observatory that had detected what they saw as a large number of objects moving at close to the speed of light and heading in our direction about October 2018. So I ran this data through the Terraformer ship's logs to try and compile a possible answer, and this is what it said. The Knock 10 embedded signal matches that of an Osirian infiltration unit known as a Destroyer-class invasion assessment sentry. These things appear to be just scrap metal. They usually land near the graveyards and mortuaries of whatever world they plan on invading. The system then begins to search the memories of the recently deceased and compiles and archives the recent history and behaviors of what species exist they're planning on invading, highlighting their cultural weaknesses, and compiles an attack strategy. The next function of the unit is to locate and disrupt any sensors or satellite arrays that may be capable of detecting the approach of their ship's invasion fleet. Next it will move on towards disabling global communications relays. After that the unit will construct an offensive system and begin strategic attacks to distract attention away from the arriving invasion force. Further inquiry into this subject led me to find that the objects heading towards us are traveling at a decreasing speed. The ship's logs state that it is their fleet coming out of light speed, and considering the number and fleet formation compared to the ship's logs records, it is not an invasion fleet but a colonization fleet. The number of ships all together in various class types and sizes is 42, which basically means that this most likely is all that remains of this species. The ship's mainframe suggests that the best plan of strategy is to fight off this destroyer sentry and not to hesitate. It is fully autonomous and is in no way linked to the approaching colonization force. The plan it suggests is to hold off the destroyer until the colonization force arrives and negotiations may be possible. Then, the sentry will not deviate from its program directive. Think of it like an alien-designed Terminator. The ship's logs also state that this coronavirus could likely have been designed from this destroyer sentry, as it is one of the strategies listed in the document below. The last known location was at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, about 45,000 leagues below sea level. Destroyer-class war strategy against mankind. Archons. The Archon is defined as a false king of tyranny, ruler that controls through masks of deception promoted through warring technological abuse, such as mind control, frequency implants, and military strategies, and can be applied to human or non-human, alien, sources. It is both the military human and non-humans' shared greed for domination, of which they both employ hidden advanced frequency technologies designed to perpetrate and promote the archontic deception strategy of the NAR. The archontic deception and its patriarchal oligarchy stems mostly from the reptilian and draconian races from the Orion constellation. Together they are called the Orion Group. June 2013 newsletter. Patriarchal domination. Domestic abuse chart. Patriarchal domination is enforced in a variety of ways through abuses of alpha male power to control women and those ranked lower on the social or religious classification system through fear, intimidation, and victim-victimizer techniques. This is a learned skill that is promoted in a variety of ways or is mimicked from boys watching their fathers or male authority figures evolve into the controller archetypes that promote archontic deception strategy. This is a primary strategy of programming humans into mind-controlled archontic deception behavior that originates from the Orion Group reptoids of the NAR. Strategies of exerting power and mind control or misogyny exist at every level of society, starting as domestic violence and forms of abuse which shape core values and the way humans are programmed to think. To better grasp how the archons of the false king of tyranny operate to abuse power systems by creating victims or victimizers on the earth, please see the domestic abuse chart. Self-enforced enslavement. If a technologically advanced extra-dimensional race has decided to implement a gradual takeover of a planet and its inhabitants, what domination strategy would it use? First, they would look to how they could maximize the efficiency of the invasion process and reduce the expenditure of resources that they have to generate themselves. To achieve this goal, the secretive infiltration of the core societal organizational structures with mind control such as religions, medical, financial and legal systems, would be ideal to shape the anti-human value systems that generates the victim and victimizer reality belief systems that they use to enforce tyrannical mind control. Through the engineering of a labyrinth of self-enforced enslavement policies based on fear and intimidation through SRA methods hidden in plain sight among the Earth inhabitants, they would achieve the use of minimal off-planet resources by piggybacking on the Earth human resources. The people on Earth would effectively enforce their own enslavement through inflicting torture methods learned from the adults that abused them as children and carry it from generation to generation. Through consistent desensitization and dissociation, they would grow into dysfunctional adults that would continue to feed the cycle of SRA to enslave their own global human family by giving up their rights and their resources to the power elite. Top 5 Archontic strategies. The big 5 ad strategies to generate more ad negative ego behaviors and spread their anti-human value systems in the human public are: 1. Divide and conquer. 2. Victimizer. 3. Sexual abuse and sexual misery. 4. Child abuse and child sacrifice. 5. Misogyny. Archontic deception behavior. What are spiritually abusive behaviors, aka archontic deception, ad behaviors? To improve peace in a largely dysfunctional world, we may require attitudinal behavior guidelines which help us to overcome the insanity of the archontic deception and their anti-life forces which abuse its mechanism. These behaviors and attitudes are propagated by the controllers to create bondage and enslavement of the human race and thus the planet. To understand the polarity of the world of forces on Earth and identify how satanic force methods are used every day to destroy the feeling heart and soul of human beings, let's review both sides of spiritually healthy behaviors, GSF, and spiritually abusive behaviors, and spiritually healthy behaviors naturally connect one with God's source and Christ and are God's sovereign free or GSF behaviors. Spiritually abusive behaviors disconnect you from God and Christ and are promoted in the archontic deception or ad behaviors. The goal with the below discernment guideline is to identify and locate these spiritually abusive ad behaviors in yourself, others and in any external organization of which you participate and to transform them through practicing GSF behaviors. All decisions one is able to make from an informed position by identifying ad behaviors will increase personal discernment and energetic resonance of GSF in one's life. The only thing any person can change is themselves through their heart responses and behaviors. Change starts within. Identify the archontic deception behavior and apply the GSF behavior antidote to transform negativity into spiritually healthy behaviors. Antidote to ad behaviors. The antidote to ad behaviors is living in the law of one and practicing the God sovereign free behavior, GSF. 1. Empathy and compassion. 2. Mental openness. 3. Emotional stability. 4. Responsibility. 5. Honesty. 6. Sovereignty. 7. Reality assessment. 8. Unified cooperation behaviors discernment guideline. Let's understand more about the ad behaviors and the NAR-controller strategies used to weaken virtues and GSF behavior which allows for the spirits of Christ to thrive in the human race. Suppress a parasite entity also called SPE. Genetic artificial intelligence, AI, drones or archons sent by higher-ups in the negative alien agenda, or those entities that source from imposter spirit and are a type of militarized AI to dominate and possess consciousness through mind control and thought projection. They are primarily sourced from Orion Group's consortium of Black Sun program. They are mind and body parasites that attach to the bioneurological system and are a mind control technological warfare. It has been observed that after a sequence of deeper layers of infection in the light body, the SPE will harvest genetic material out of the human DNA host to form a type of cyborg. We believe this is a part of the transhumanist agenda to create cyborgs in the human population through AI, to be used for a variety of purposes, slave labor, on Earth, and to be taken to other planets by the NA.
You escaped that